Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. In the bustling port city of Carthage, where the scent of salt and cedarwood mingled with the cries of sailors and merchants, the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the narrow alleys and sandstone buildings. The air vibrated with the hum of commerce and the rattle of carts over cobblestones worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. Among the multitude, a boy of 11 named Malicus darted through the crowds, clutching tightly to a small leather pouch at his side. His dark eyes, sharp as a hawk's, scanned the faces of passers-by with both curiosity and caution. Unbeknownst to most, the fate of the great city, and perhaps the entire course of history, rested on what he carried. Malicus was the son of Hanno, one of the most prosperous Phoenician merchants in Carthage, a man known far and wide for his fleet of swift triremes and his skill in bartering rare goods from distant lands. But Hanno's true renown was whispered only among a select few. For years, he had been entrusted with a secret coin, a single silver denarius struck with the emblem of Carthage's ancestors, a token said to hold the power to finance Hannibal Barca's final and decisive campaign against Rome. It was not the coin's material that made it important, for it was no more valuable than many others in the market, but its provenance and the wealth it represented. The coin was proof of a hidden treasury, a fund amassed by loyalists and secret sympathizers across the Mediterranean, intended to provide Hannibal with the resources he needed to march his unyielding will into the heart of Roman dominance. To lose it would mean betraying the hopes of countless Carthaginians who still dreamed of freedom beyond the looming shadow of the Republic. Hanno had been cautious, guarding the coin thus far, but his travels grew perilous as Roman spies cast their net ever wider. On the eve of his departure on a dangerous mission to the hinterlands, Hanno entrusted the coin to Malicus, charging him with an impossible task: to protect it at all costs until it could be delivered to the war council in New Carthage, the city's formidable fortress overlooking the sea. "Remember, my son," Hanno's gravelly voice echoed in Malicus's memory, "this piece of silver is worth more than gold or jewels. It is the lifeblood of our resistance. Let no man take it from you, not strangers nor friends." Malicus understood the gravity of his duty. To the untrained eye, he was but a simple boy, hardly remarkable beyond his youthful energy and a streak of determination. But beneath this exterior, he was now the guardian of Carthage's fate. The day passed uneventfully at the market square. Malicus helped his mother with small errands, remained vigilant against pickpockets, and kept the coin hidden deep in his satchel. But as twilight descended, a shadow crept over the city. Rumors had begun to swirl. Roman agents were infiltrating Carthage, hunting for the coin's existence. The enemy's relentless desire to cripple Hannibal's resurgence put Malicus in dire peril. It was in the narrow alleys near the great temple of Baal Hammon where Malicus first encountered danger. A man, tall and cloaked in a dark, faded purple tunic, stepped from the shadows. His eyes gleamed with cold calculation as he fixed Malicus with a hard stare. "Boy, where did you come from? That pouch looks heavy for one your age. Care to share what you carry?" Malicus clutched his satchel tighter. He shook his head, playing for innocence. "Just my lunch, sir. I'm on an errand for my mother." The stranger's lips curled into a thin smile, but the malice burned bright in his gaze. "You're alone, I see. That worries me." Suddenly, the man lunged, grasping for the satchel, but Malicus was swift. He dodged back, knocking over a stack of pottery just as the priest of Baal emerged, his booming voice scattering the crowd. "Enough. Leave the child be." The would-be thief hissed curses under his breath and disappeared, but Malicus's heart pounded fiercely. Clearly, the coin was a prize dangerous men desired. He realized he couldn't stay in the market any longer. At home that night, Malichus pored over a rough map of the local terrain, tracing the route to New Carthage. The journey was perilous, dense forests, rocky hills, and Roman patrols snaking through the land like poisonous vipers. His mother looked on with worry etched deep in her face, understanding the stakes. "You have courage beyond your years," his mother whispered, pressing a silver amulet into his hand. "This will protect you under Baal's watch. But trust no one." Malichus left before dawn, slipping through the city gates dressed as a common traveler, a small pack on his back. The chill morning air filled his lungs as he stepped onto the dusty road leading west. Behind him, the silhouette of Carthage shrank against the rising sun. Days into his journey, Malichus met many faces, some kind, others cruel. With each step the weight of the coin in his pack heavier with the burden of responsibility. On the second night, he sought shelter in a tavern where soldiers and merchants drank in thick smoke and laughter. Here, Malichus overheard whispers. Roman legions had tightened their grip on the roads, searching for spies and rebel sympathizers. A tall man with a soldier's posture approached Malichus, his armor glinting in the firelight. "Traveling alone, boy? This land grows dangerous for those not under Rome's protection." He squinted at the satchel. "May I see what you carry?" Malichus's fingers tightened around the leather pouch, but even in fear, he remembered his father's warning. "Nothing for your eyes." The soldier's smile faded. "Foolishness, child. The world is ruled by power, and this coin might just be that power." He moved to seize the pouch, but Malichus ducked under the table and bolted into the night. He sprinted through twisting backstreets, heart-pounding, the sounds of armor scraping stone behind him. Just as the soldier's shadow loomed grasping, a sudden explosion of flame from a broken lantern set a pile of straw alight, forcing the soldier to retreat. Malichus took the chance and fled deeper into the wild. In the woods, Malichus found an unlikely ally, a local shepherd named Ammon, a grizzled man who knew the forests better than the Roman legionaries cared to admit. Ammon took Malichus under his wing, guiding him through secret paths, teaching him to listen to the wind and read the bark of ancient trees. By the flickering campfire, Malichus revealed the coin's significance. "It can pay for horses, weapons, and soldiers who will march with Hannibal to challenge Rome once more," he said, his voice filled with quiet hope. Ammon nodded. "Then it is not just a coin but a symbol of Carthage's soul." Together, they faced many trials. Ambushes by Roman scouts, treacherous rivers swollen with spring rain, and starvation beneath cold, empty skies. Yet Malichus's resolve never wavered. In his dreams, he heard Hannibal's voice, calling him forward, urging him to protect the city's glory. One evening, as they neared the walls of New Carthage, a final test awaited. A group of Roman loyalists had set a trap near the ancient ruins of Byrsa Hill, using fire and men to block passage. Ammon urged caution, but Malichus saw through their tactics. "We cannot turn back," he said firmly. "If this coin falls into enemy hands, everything is lost." They scouted the perimeter under cover of darkness and found a narrow gorge overlooked by wild vines and thorny bushes. It was a perilous path, but the only way through. Crawling on hands and knees, battered by brambles, they passed the Roman encampment undetected. Just as dawn cracked the sky, they emerged within sight of New Carthage's towering walls. At the gates, Malichus was summoned by General Hasdrubal, Hannibal's trusted lieutenant and a man known for his stern judgment and unwavering loyalty to Carthage. Malichus presented the coin without hesitation. General Hasdrubal examined it carefully, his eyes widening with respect and recognition. "You have done what many could not," Hasdrubal said gravely. "You carried the very hope of Carthage in your hands, and you have not faltered." The coin was taken inside the council chamber and delivered to the war strategists who plotted Hannibal's next moves. With the treasury replenished, the general assured Malichus, Hannibal's army would be equipped for the campaign to shake the might of Rome to its core. With his mission complete, Malichus returned home a hero, yet he remained humble, a boy transformed by duty and courage beyond measure. The coin, though small and unassuming, had become a symbol of his steadfast heart and Carthage's unyielding spirit. In the years that followed, stories of Malichus's deed grew among the people, whispered in markets and sung by poets. Though history would remember Hannibal's battles and Rome's eventual supremacy, the coin of Carthage and its guardian lived on as a testament to the power of determination, sacrifice, and the fragile flame of freedom that burns even in the darkest of times. For more stories, like and subscribe.